Hello guys, and welcome to this video review on the Seiko Baron. Now this is a watch I built from parts mostly, and if you follow me on Instagram at SeikoMODS Dubai, you'll see all my latest watch builds and projects. Now my friend Steve commissioned this one. He's also commissioned a bunch of crazy watches, including the Chameleon that I made for him back a few months ago, so that was his last one. I told him about my idea of doing something like this and he absolutely loved it, so here it is. Now this started off as a design idea based on that rainbow bezel. Now this is the first time I've seen it, and I've used it as well for the first time here. This bezel is from NamokiMODS watches, and of course this is designed to mimic the Rolex rainbow variant. So we've got these, I believe they're just sort of glass cut crystal stones, and you know what, this for some reason this bezel really doesn't like, there you go, it doesn't like to focus on my phone camera here. So you've got these cut glass stones. I'm not sure, I doubt they're sapphire of course, but maybe they are, I'm not sure actually how it's done, but they've got these crystal sort of stones all the way around, of course not real diamonds or anything like that. And they are pretty well color matched in this rainbow pattern. You've also got the size of this bezel is quite interesting because it is not the same size as a regular bezel combination that you'd get from most of the mod shops, which means two things. Firstly, you need a specific type of crystal, and secondly, you need a specific type of case, because this bezel really doesn't look so good on a SKX style case. It looks too small from the outer diameter. So first thing I was thinking is, okay, we'll use a sub style case. So this is the NamokiMODS sub style case, and actually this case seems to be thinner. It could just be me, but based on the last one of these I used, or I think it was the same case that I used, the profile actually looks a bit more normal. So this looks way better than I remember it. I thought the last one I had was a little bit thick on the side, but actually this one looks all right. Interestingly, with this case, it is 40 millimeters across, not including the crown guards. If you measure it with the crown guards, you get 42. It is still quite thick, considering it's a Rolex homage. It's definitely wears thicker, more like a Sea Dweller or something like that. But the main issue that you might find with this case, if you ever use it with the regular Seiko style bezel, is that the bezel is actually bigger than the case. This bezel is about 41, so it's slightly bigger than the case on the left side there, but definitely smaller than the Seiko style ones that I typically use. Even the sub style and whatever, it will overhang a little bit and look a little bit odd. So I needed a case that was actually smaller than the usual SKX cases I use to fit this bezel. And of course, because it's a rainbow bezel, why not go wild with the color scheme? So we've actually done a bit of a backwards two-tone here. So usually on a two-tone watch you would have a silver case with rose gold or gold bezel, crown, and this kind of bracelet. But we've switched those around because this bezel is only available in a silver color. And by the way, this is a one-piece design, so it comes like this. There is no insert with this, it's just a bezel. So though the bezel cost is actually quite expensive, or you might think it is, it's about the same as actually buying a bezel and an insert. I think 120 Singapore dollars or something like that on their site, but you'll have to check below. So anyway, this is again the first time I'm using this kind of backwards two-tone pattern, which I thought might look weird, and in some ways it does look a little bit odd with this silver kind of stripes down the bracelet, but in other ways I think it matches it. It almost looks, in some light, when I first did it, I thought, you know what, that actually looks like there's diamonds or something on the bracelet as well. Now the dial is from an SRPE72K1, I think the original Seiko 5 rose gold dial. I think all these jewels are playing with my focus, so I'm gonna have to tap the screen occasionally. So that is that sort of sunburst rose gold dial from the full rose gold Seiko 5. And that was actually a dial that Steve had with me, left over from one of his other builds. We also have silver Mercedes hands. We've got an NH36 movement, I went for a silver polished chapter ring to kind of match the outside of the bezel too. Silver crown, S-signed of course, so this case accepts all standard SKX parts including crowns. And then a two-tone bracelet. Now in some light I think it's just the finishing on the bracelet. This is polished and the tops of these lugs are brushed. It looks a little more yellowy than rose like the case, but it really still matches up fairly well. Sorry about the focus, I think it's really struggling today. So yeah, what do you think of it, guys? I think I really wasn't sure how this would look, but having built it, I think I really like it actually. It would work as a unisex watch. Of course, it would work as a nice ladies watch as well if you've got a bigger wrist perhaps, because it is still a chunky watch. And here it is on my 7 3/4 inch wrist. Now, I don't think the bracelet will fit very well because I've already sized it down, so I'll have to hold it, but there you go. So I'd say that still looks pretty good considering this is supposedly a 40mm case, and I've got a big wrist. Now looking around the other side of the watch, I'll just slide it off carefully. We decided to keep the sort of two-tone thing with just a plain polished case back. But yeah, I'm really impressed with this case. Drilled lug holes as well, which makes it easier to switch out the straps. Now I think this will look great on a black rubber strap as well. That'll definitely tone it down a little bit. So I might, in fact, let me try that. I'm going to put it on the rubber strap now, just so you guys can see what it would look like as a more toned down version, if we can do that. But yeah, wicked watch, really cool parts, and Mod Mode watches is definitely a place to look out for because they have some really unique parts coming in stock each month. So here's the watch on the black rubber strap from DLW or MODS straps. Now this looks a little bit more toned down, but not much because of that crazy bezel. Now I will tell you a few important points about that bezel you should know before you order one. But yes, looks nice on the nice fitted rubber. These are still some of my favorite straps available, and you know, you're gonna get them alongside other parts as well, so it's a perfect place to get them, and that's DLW. Now the bezel insert, also the bezel combination here, a couple of things you should know. Firstly, I already mentioned that it's a bit narrower here across the outer diameter compared to the others, so you're going to want a smaller size case really to fit it. It looks a little bit lost on the next SKX case. The other thing is that the crystal you need is not the standard SKX double dome crystal. This one is actually, I think this crystal came from Watch and Style, and it's their no bevel edge crystal, which is actually a little bit wider here, which accepts a narrower bezel insert or a flat bezel insert. Now, the key thing about this bezel is that it is lower than, again, the standard combination. So this actually should be assumed as a flat insert, not a sloping one. So you can have that nice double dome effect, but you have to watch out with the crystal. If you fit the standard crystal, it will work, but it will the crystal will protrude quite a lot and it won't look as good as this. So you've got to be careful with the crystal, of course. And finally, it does rotate, in case you were wondering. So no matter which sort of mood you're in, you can spin this bezel and either just as a bit of a toy, or of course change the look around slightly. So let me know what you think, guys. I'm sure some of you will love this. I'm sure some of you will hate this. Either way, I want to hear from you. What do you think of this rainbow bezel Seiko mod that I created here for my buddy Steve? I love it personally. If you get a chance to see one in real life, I think you'll love it as well, just because it's out there, it's weird, it's different, and it feels good quality. That's the thing. These are not your AliExpress watches or whatever that just fall apart after the first use. These are good quality parts from great suppliers, and when put together well, they also pack a serious punch, and this one definitely does. I think this is going to get a lot of attention when Steve wears it out and about. So don't forget, guys, like and subscribe, please. Follow me on Instagram at SeikoMODS Dubai. Thank you for getting me almost to 2,000 subscribers on YouTube and 3,000 followers on Instagram as well. I really appreciate the support. I will try and do some more giveaways soon. When I get a chance, I will put something together, so stay tuned for that. And of course, feel free to reach out to me if you want to know the price of this watch or any others that I've built over the year. Please contact me there and we can work something out. Here's a nice loom shot just to close out the video. Thanks all for watching, and I'll see you next time.